This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, Lowco sports fans, welcome to another edition of the Lowco Sports Lowdown, Friday afternoon edition, Wes, on a beautiful Friday afternoon out there in the Lowco, and first day of summer over here. We half day of school today. Everybody's out. School's out for summer. So exciting day for households across the Low Country for sure. Before we get started, just a quick reminder for our Lowco sports fans that if you are ready for football, you can't wait until the Friday night lights fire up in August. You're in luck. The Hilton Head Sharks semi-pro football team going to be hosting the Carolina Spartans out of Charleston for the inaugural 843 Championship Bowl. That's going to be July 15th at Hilton Head High's Community Stadium. Former high school and college standouts battling for bragging rights and to lay claim to being the best semi-pro football team in the 843. You can get tickets $10 for adults, children 12 and under free. You can also snag a sideline pass at the gate for $35, and they're going to have food trucks on site when the gates open at 5:30, so you can get out there and pregame ahead of the 6:30 kickoff. July 15th, Hilton Head Sharks versus the Carolina Spartans in the 843 Championship Bowl. Summer football right here in the Lowco, Wes, and we're going to be talking some football here shortly because Adam Kinloch, the new coach at Colleton County, is working on getting his way into the green room, so we can chat with him a little bit later about the Cougars and their progress. He told me last night everything's going great, better than expected, which is really good because he was an optimistic guy going into the job. So that's a great thing to hear after spring football. Looking forward to catching up with him. And he'll also be able to give us some insight into some breaking news this week with Brett Macy stepping down as the AD at May River High School. He's been there since the school opened in 2016, going over to Bridges Prep in Beaufort, where he'll be the AD and assistant principal. I talked with him at length, and his kids are going to stay in the schools over here in Bluffton. So Tanner will still be the quarterback at May River. Brooklyn's coming up. I think she'll be in 8th grade. She's going to be a beast in volleyball and basketball. Really tall, athletic kid, and obviously a great family. So Brett moving over there, though, and we wish him well over there, but certainly a change of pace. He looks forward to getting into the administrative side of things as far as school administration as a potential, future path for him. Because like you said to me, can I do this after school every day thing for 12 more years? Man, I don't know. It's a grind. And, as you get into middle age, it becomes more difficult, and you want to see your kids grow up and stuff too. So positive career move for him, I think. And it means kind of a real clean slate at May River, and so to speak, with a new principal, new AD, and a new football coach, although with Bonneville, it's somebody who's been there since the beginning. So definitely going to be a different look over there at May River next year.
Yeah, new era for May River, both academically and athletically, as Macy steps down after, started from the ground up. And that's hard to do, beginning a new athletic program like May River, and to see the success that he's established there with, winning that state championship in boys soccer, having a couple of really strong football teams, including one that got to the lower state final a couple of years back. So the standard has been set, academically has been off the charts. We've just talked about these last few weeks, the incredible students that have come through and have earned all this money and scholarships and all these accolades. And some kids were jumping straight to the workforce, and they do it right here at May River. In terms of the academics, especially, it has been sensational, and the kids have really done a great job. Of course, you get credit that to some outstanding teachers that work here, but the academics have held to a high standard, and the athletics as well. As I mentioned with that football and the soccer team, but across the board, we see these May River squads competing routinely for region titles and going deep into state playoffs. And Macy was a big part of that. But I think it's a win-win situation here for him. Obviously, it takes a lot off you not having to take on the athletic director role. There's a lot of responsibility that goes into all you have to do to maintain all the work. All the the duties that you have to perform here. It's a lot, but Macy's done a terrific job, and now I think it's gonna be a very attractive hire, whoever they decide to go with for athletic director. You look at the prestige of this school. I rattle off a couple of those teams that have been really impressing, but it's a top tier 4A. It has potential to be a top tier 4A program. the proximity to Bluffton is an ever-growing area in the state. Should attract a bunch of students to continue to come over around this area and compete athletically in the classroom. So I gotta think the future continues to be even higher potential going forward at May River with the level that has already been established over there. So in terms of the football program, I think it's in great hands with Bonneville, someone who's been there from basically inception, has done a great job to establish a standard. And we've talked about last week about the accountability program that he started with T-shirts. And I just think there's a new wave of energy over in that May River football program. The kids have bought in, and I think we're going to see some good things as a result of this fall, and a lot of great competition around these local schools. But we wish Brett Macy all the best. We thank him for all that he did to take a program from the ground up and right away have a ton of success, and a school that has been around for just a few short years. So congratulations to Macy, and wish him all the best in his new role over there at Bridges Prep.
Yeah, and we'll still get to work with him because he'll be doing it over there. But certainly, 1A level, it's different than 4A. It's still yeoman's work. Don't get it twisted. I mean, he said the other day he's got 14 sports, so it's not a joke that he's walking into over there by any means. But it's definitely he'll be able to split his time a little bit more doing some of those responsibilities as well as doing the administrative responsibilities during the day and learning some new job skills, career skills. So, but somebody who worked over there at May River for a couple of years and then at Whale Branch, and now he is at Colleton County, his alma mater, as the head coach. Let's get Adam Kinloch in here. AK, what is going on, man? It's good to see your face. We were talking a good bit during football season, and then we kind of that's one of the things. It's all cyclical. We see you a lot, and then we don't see you at all. And you got a new job since we talked to you, which has been fantastic. And obviously, we've been keeping up. But you told me last night it's going better than expected, which I got to say that was really shocking to me because you were a very optimistic guy going into this job. So tell us about what happened this spring out at Colleton and why you're so excited.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, it's been better than expected. You got a group of kids from a community and a community who loves football, and the outpour from the community, and just everyone is just buying in, and they putting everything into what we're trying to do. I mean, the support just from action get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and getting Gatorade and just the little things. And it's like, I had to tell people, hey, I can't take anymore. I have no space to keep all this stuff. And that's what you want. This is a community school, one middle school, one high school, and you want the support and you want the input from the community. And it's been great. The kids have bought in. They're working hard. They're excited about the future. And I think it's an excitement that hasn't been here in a while.
Wes having a little bit of trouble over there. Looks like you good, Wes?
All right. Yeah, we're good. Hey, Coach, thanks for coming on, Coach Kinloch. Got it. What a fantastic opportunity for you. It's a homecoming for you, former student, former football player over there at Colleton County. How awesome is it to come back and now lead this team moving forward? You're starting in the fall.
It's a blessing. It was a dream of mine, the one day come home, and I didn't think it was going to happen this early. I thought maybe 45 or 50 years old, later on in life, I would have the opportunity, but it came sooner than expected. I mean, and it's a big blessing. And I'm taking on the challenge because, the community wanted a community guy. They wanted a community person to come in and really, bridge the gap. And that's what was missing was, a gap from the team to the community. And I mean, the community has been lovely. They've been great. I mean, like I said, just from the little things that I've needed, they have come in and made sure that we are taken care of from, day one. And just being, a hometown kid, and, this is what you want, the opportunity to say, hey, look, guys, you can do it too. You can go off to school, you can go work somewhere else. And when your opportunity, when the opportunity presents itself and your name is called, come back and give back to your community, man. And it's just been a big blessing to have everyone with their arms open and, ready just to accept me.
Yeah, that's great stuff, man. And your dad was the coach there as well, right? So there's lots of connections there. So, but what I've always heard about Colleton and one of the great opportunities that I've been told about is that they're really open to, because there's only one public high school there. They're really open to letting you kind of get your fingers in the rec programs and start to install the systems that you want to see and terminology you want to use and things like that. Get your assistant coaches involved with that. So is that something that you've already been able to start exploring and taking advantage of?
Yes, sir. To be honest with you, week one, I mean, the first day I started February 6th, and I sat down with the AD, and one of the first things that he said, hey, we need the bridge built between not just the middle school, but the youth leagues as well. They want your input. They want your playbook. They want to go ahead and start the systems. They want to go ahead and put it in place on their level so that when the kids get to high school, you say something, they already know what you're talking about. And I mean, just from the rec department, Chris Myers, them reaching out. They reached out to me and said, hey, listen, like, when can we meet? When can we talk? The travel youth team, they already reached out. And I've already met with all these different entities, and we're just sitting talking in ways that we can promote, the game, make sure the kids are safe playing the game, but also how can we change lives together, and we got some big things coming up, just not just with football, in terms of, running the same system or things like that, but just from having the middle school and the youth leagues come to the games and wearing the jerseys and forming the tunnels. And, I like I told them, when we start making the playoffs around here, they're going to go to the games as well. And, I want it to be, this is a football town. I always tell a story. I remember in the early 90s at the old Walterboro High School and old Walterboro Stadium, that the home locker room was near the road and they had to walk through the crowd. And I remember being a little boy, I'm a ball boy on the sideline, and I'm running out of the field so I can go to the crowd, and pushing my way through just to see those guys. And, and to be here now in this position to see the Antoine Nee Smiths and the Dedrick Owens and, the Damon Cunninghams, those guys that I saw play, and a lot of them have came back, and like those are my idols growing up. And to see those guys, some of those guys come back and be like, hey, coach, we're proud of you and we got your back. I mean, it took me, like, I had a moment, right before the spring game, because it's like, these are guys that I saw play. I mean, it's a state championship quarterback, and he's calling me from Indiana, like, hey, man, like, I'm proud of you. Like, let's go, whatever you need. And, hey, what game you need me there, I'll be there. Like, it's crazy.
It's good stuff.
Well, Coach, describe your time working as the OC over there at Whale Branch, and what you learned from that experience, and what you learned working under a legendary figure over here in Jerry Hatcher.
Man, oh God, I give a lot of credit to Coach Hatcher. When I graduated college and was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I know I wanted to coach, and a lot of people don't know this, but I did. I graduated. I want to say that was May 4th, 2013, for South Carolina State University. I started coaching at Colleton, and I was here. And Hatcher, I met him at a scrimmage. They came over at a scrimmage. I met him and the staff, and I just kept in touch, and things kind of just happened over the next few weeks. And I said, hey, I need a spot, and it's like, come on. And he gave me opportunity, man. 24 years old, fresh out of college, and he gave me a job as a JV receiver coach and $1,900 stipend. And boy, listen, I thought that was $1 million, and I learned so much from Coach Hatcher. I mean, he does it the right way. He cares about the kids, and he pours into the kids. My coaching style, a lot of that is Coach Hatcher. Hard-nosed, but it's hard-nosed loving, as I call it. The kids know and respect him, and they know that when he's fussing at him, it's not because he doesn't like him, but because he cares. I love to run the football, and we're going to run the football, and a lot of that has to do with, with Jerry Hatcher, and, and our defense is going to look similar to the Jerry Hatcher style, that split forward defense. And, it's so much that he taught me, over the years. And I told him when I first interviewed with him that, hey, I want to be a head coach one day, and you got to get me ready. And he held it to me, and he said, hey, Kinloch, those clothes have to be folded. Hey, Kinloch, those coolers have to be moved from here to there. And I'm like, well, why are you asking me? All the coaches say, but you said you want to be a head coach. Now in 2023, I see myself and I catch myself doing those same things. I'm like, that's what he was talking about. Because as the head man, you got to understand you're the first one there, the last one leave. And you have to set the precedence of this is how I want it, but you have to do it so everyone knows this is the expectation. And I thought, well, man, I'm the head coach, and I was out there for spring practice, doing the lines for the field, And I said he had your picture, and I was like, hey, coach, I said, you told me this was coming, and I mean, the head coach is painting the field, but if you want the standard to be high, you have to set the standard, man. And I owe Coaches so much.
Well, you started there and then went to May River for a couple of years and then ended up back at Whale Branch with the opportunity to continue to grow and take on that OC role. So, but we were talking before we brought you in about Brett Macy making the move over to Bridges Prep. So you got a new principal, new AD, and new football coach, although, a remnant from the old staff over at May River. So kind of a new era, but you were a part of that first era. So I guess just kind of reflect on your time there and just, the job that they did in building that program up in such a short time.
That was a great few years, man. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed coaching with those guys. They did it the right way. One thing I learned from them, and, just talking about Coach Summers, I learned organization, having a plan for the plan before the plan. One thing what you weren't going to do was catch, Coach Summers lacking. Oh no, he had a plan for the plan, and I learned that from and just working with Coach Bonneville and the Dye brothers and Coach Powell, those guys, man. We had fun, and it was great, being with those guys, and I learned a lot. And it's a difference, from being on north side of Broad, now going to south side of Broad, and I'm dealing with different kids, different families. And I gained so much experiences learning people, and that's helped me out in my job here because I know a whole lot of people because, I went down there. The experience was great. I love those kids. I still love those kids. Ahmad Green, he texts me all the time. And, Garvin Douglas came over here to see me at Colleton. Those are great kids, just great people. And I was really blessed to be able to have the opportunity to go to May River. I mean, going undefeated, and the next year losing at the lower state by 7 points. We were just that close to, going to play, for a state championship. And those are memories, that I'll never forget. But also that's a driving force for how I want to do it now. I want to do it the right way. I want to make sure that our kids know that, as the kids say, we got to get it out the mud. We have to work because, May River went from winning 2-3 games and 2-3 span to undefeated, and I told him, I said, we can do the same things here. We just have to work, and we have to get this mindset that nobody's going to give it to us and that we have to go take it. And a lot of that comes from just being at May River. And, those guys want to say, hey, we're going to prove ourselves that we are capable of winning and we can when we are important. So, I definitely
look at Buford and look what they did in the Bryce Library. I mean, taking a program that certainly we've never seen at that level to a 3A powerhouse and the state champion. So it can be done the local. And how much is that, message so prominent now with, what we saw May River with Buford. We can field quality players here in the Low Country, and with the great coaches that we have, we can develop state championship programs.
Oh yeah, man. Coach Library and them guys, they did a great job. I went up to the state championship game to see them, and I wanted to see it for myself. I deep down inside, I said they're going to win this thing, and I want to see it. And man, that lit a fire up in me. And I saw their rings on Facebook the other day, and boy, I mean, it made that fire burn even hotter because I'm like, that's how you do it. I've said it since I've been in high school, growing up, even when I was in college and when I first got into coaching. We have the athletes here, and we have the talent, and we have the teams here to win multiple state championships and be, the driving force in the lower state. And there's so many different factors that factor into, being successful and winning it all. But just seeing, just right down the road in, Beaufort County and seeing the success of those programs, and, just I'm like, man, when we get rolling here, and I said when we get rolling, because we will get rolling. I mean, it's going to be a great thing, not just for us, but just for our community and just for the whole Low Country, because I mean, I think a lot of people forget about after Charleston, they forget about Colletons and Hamptons and Jasper and Beaufort counties, and we matter, and our kids matter too. So you definitely want to make sure that we put the state on notice that we're here.
I mean, you just summed up our mission statement, brother. That's pretty much the mission statement of Loco Sports right there. Make sure that everybody knows what's going on in those 4 counties right there. And you know, I've always thought Colleton County was just kind of a sleeping giant. I mean, you go up there, you see the facilities, you see the turnout that they get for the softball program when it's going good, or the basketball programs. You know, the passion is there, and you know that if they feel like the coaches and the players are invested in the program, they're going to invest in it too. So I think you've already started to see that. But what were your numbers like in the spring? You know, what's the prognosis, I guess, of the program going into this fall, and what do you guys have to do between now and then to get to where you want to be?
We had quite a few guys out for spring ball. We started day one around 132, 133. We had a lot of kids out. I mean, big numbers. Now
that's a number. That's a number.
Yeah. Now, you know, once you know, conditioning and you know, and the pads came on, you know, the numbers kind of it went down. But we have a good group of guys. We're going to be able to field around 60, 65 on varsity, and another 40 to 50 on JV. And we got the numbers and we got the kids, man. You know, they want to work. They want to put the time in and the effort in. And I mean, like, our last day of school was yesterday, and you know, weight room started today, and we had no issues. 8 o'clock this morning, you know, when the first whistle blew, you know, we had our kids. Now, a few of them, you know, they were running, sprinting to get over here, but they were here, and you know, it's just exciting to see the kids excited about playing football. And my mission is to give them the memories I had. You know, like, you know, I talked about the Damian Cunninghams and Antoine Neesmith and the Dedrick Owens, but I also can talk about the Rasheem Pinkneys and you know, the Courtney Singletons and you know, the Charlie Browns and the Travis Fredericks. Those are guys that I saw play, man, and I want to make sure. I told him, I said, I'm going to make sure that a few years from now, it's going to be a middle school kid that comes to you and say, hey, listen, you're the reason that I wanted to wear number 12, or you're the reason that I wanted to play linebacker, or whatever the case may be, man. You know, we're going to be bridge builders over here, and we want to make sure that the young ones know, like, we can do it here. And it's more than just football, just being good people, and you know, and having something that our community can rally around.
Amen.
You're absolutely right, Coach, and you've had a tremendous start in just terms of that preaching and that instilling that belief that you guys can be a team that does something special in the future. And I just love the energy you mentioned, all the passion about you know, call to be a football town, because it is. I mean, we've seen a lot of success around here in the Low Country, and you look at some of the younger guys, the kids who are taking all this in, and you know, them being inspired to do the same thing. How much does laying the foundation this year it positively impact, you know, the next generation who's going to come on Friday nights to watch these games? And you look at the cheerleaders, you look at the young boys and girls who are going to come and be inspired by what they see and look to, you know, continue this process in the future.
Oh, exactly. What we're doing now, we're setting the tone, not for now, but for the future. You know, I assembled a great staff, and you know, I bought some outside guys. And one thing I told them, I said, listen, we're trying to win this season, but we're trying to lay the foundation for the future, man. And those young kids see it. We had a spring game 2 weeks ago, and you know, we haven't had a spring game around here in quite a few years. And to see the community, see all the young kids, you know, the kids from the Walsboro travel team, All Stars, and to see the middle school kids, you know, come out and stand on the sideline and just be around it. It was great, you know, because those are our future. Those are our babies. That's our pipeline, our bloodline, you know. And I want those kids to understand, like, we're going to work hard. We're going to take care of you, but you're going to do your schoolwork. You're going to stay out of trouble, and we're going to win, but we're going to do it together as a family. And, you know, that you can be whatever you want to be in life. That's the biggest thing right now, is get these kids to understand that, you know, we're going to take those negative connotations about Colleton County and, you know, and take all the doubts and all the naysayers and we putting them in the bag and we holding on to them. And then every time we get together, we pull them out and we tell them to the kids, and we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna reflect on it and say, this is what they think about us and our community and this team, and we're gonna set the foundation. We're gonna show everyone, and that is gonna trickle down to the middle school, to all the elementary schools, and those kids. This is a football town, and I can't wait to 5 years from now we'll be right back here on having a interview talking about a state championship run and how I'm talking about kids who were in eighth grade this year, how they helped us get there, and y'all gonna remind me about this, and I'm gonna be like, yes, we did it.
I can't wait, man. I look forward to that interview. I mean, I'm so excited for you. I mean, we talked throughout the process, and I was really happy that you got this opportunity. I thought you were the right guy for the job, right guy at the right time, and I think our interview today has done nothing to dissuade me from that. I think you got the absolute exact philosophy you need to have success in that role. And it's great to see you are already starting to reap the rewards, man. We're really proud of you, and we're really excited for you and look forward to seeing those Cougars in the fall. Going to have a good one against Hampton. Start things off. Going to be fun.
Yes, sir. Hey, Hampton County's rolling in, August 18th at 7:30. We're looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a huge crowd. Hampton is traveling. I've already had quite a few people from Hampton called about tailgating spots. We're going to tailgate, and we're pushing this. We're going to name it the Border Bowl, and we're going to continue to do this every year and make this a big game. And those coaches down there, they're doing a great job, and I'm looking forward to it. Big Kayvon Chisholm coming to town, and and I think we got a Kayvon Chisholm like kid here, and I put pressure on, say, listen, I say this kid can ball. What you gonna do, And I think it's great for both communities. Big, we're our community is so similar. Small communities that are big on football, big, small, tight-knit communities. And a lot of people from Hampton work here in Colleton. A lot of people from Colleton, family, in Hampton and go to church and vice versa. And we intertwine in so many ways. It's like, why not have, push this game and do this every year, man? So we're going to do this every year. And I'm looking forward to that game. Year one of Hampton County, year one of, as some of the kids call it, the Kinloch era. But it's going to be a good game. And hopefully we'll have LowcoSports on the sideline. I'll make sure I have y'all a nice little media pass to put on.
I plan to be there, man. That's I already started looking at the schedule, and I got it penciled in for week 0.
Week 0, there you go. It's going to be here before you know it. We will get talking about them very soon. But Coach, real quick, any summer plans? You got 7-on-7s lined up, or any action before you kick it off for real?
Yes, sir. So like I said, we started off today with our summer stuff, and on the June 14th, Well Branch, bringing the home in time team in. They're coming over them, and also Mayville, they're coming over as well. We get some 7-on-7 work, and then we'll be down in Bluffton, down you guys' way for the FCA 7-on-7, and and some good team bonding there. And then we're gonna go up June 29th to the Lower Richland 7-on-7 shootout. And hey, we're gonna get after that. Kind of. Already got a text about who we in pool play with. And I said, okay, with Dutch Fork, and I think Rich Northeast is in our pool well. And we're going to get some experience. The kids asked for it. They said, Coach, we want to do 7-on-7. We want to go some tournaments, and we want to compete. So, all right, we're going to go compete, and we're going to let people know that Colleton football is here. And, we'll see. And every day, Monday to Thursday, from 8 to 10:30, and when we're not on 7-on-7, we're going to be working out here right at the school, working out, conditioning, and, just building as a team.
Outstanding, man. Well, we look forward to it. I can't wait to get out there and see a game week 0. It's going to be good times. I've already got my calendar circled. I can't wait to get out there. So congrats again on landing that dream job so early in your career. And I can see you're ready to make the most of the opportunity. So thanks so much to Coach Adam Kinloch. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors. And then we'll be back after the break with noted golf instructor Krista Dunton to talk about the LPGA girls golf program here in the Low Country and the big fundraiser they had the other night out at Berkeley Hall. So that's coming back out after the sponsor break here on the LowcoSports Lowdown.
Hey, Loco sports fans. This podcast and all of our grassroots local sports content are made possible by support from community sponsors, including Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate attorneys of Loco Sports, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Our original sponsors are still among our greatest supporters. Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson are community pillars who will be in your corner no matter your legal needs. When you need legal representation, call on the attorneys who support Team Loco. Call Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the official hospice provider of Loco Sports, and the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County. For more than 30 years, the committed, compassionate staff at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry have been there to ensure your loved ones find comfort, honor, and dignity at the end of life. Because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspectors of Loco Sports. Jan Lucas and his team provide thorough, detailed home inspections aimed to ensure everyone goes into the transaction with open eyes and confidence. Jan would rather reveal an inconvenient truth than look the other way and provide reassurances that could come back to burn the buyer in the long run. If you're looking to buy or sell a home and need an honest, reliable inspector, call on Homegrown Home Inspections, official sponsors of Loco Sports. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Loco Sports. If your business or organization has a website and you're trying to figure out what SEO is, you need to call on Denise and Dave Sinkovich at DDS Web Design. They'll provide a free consultation and do all the behind-the-scenes work to boost your search engine optimization and get your website found online so you can take your business to the next level. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Loco Sports. American Wood Reface, sustaining sponsors of Loco Sports. Does your kitchen need a facelift? Before you start picking out new cabinets, give Ben and the team at American Wood Reface a shot. They can reface your existing cabinets to overhaul your aesthetic without the hefty price tag and reimagine your kitchen at a price point you can manage. Be sure to tell them Loco sent you because every referral helps support Loco Sports. 4M Metals, sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports. Got metal? Your roof might need it. Metal roofing advantages include better energy efficiency, weather protection, longevity, a more aesthetically pleasing design, and the product is all green. So if you've been thinking about a new roof, go metal. Let 4M Metals be the difference in your roof. Jay's Barbershop. It's the talk of the town and the place to be in Ridgeland. If you need your ears lowered, head over to Jay's for a fresh cut and great conversation with good folks. And tell them Loco sent you. Local Pie, official pizza sponsor of Loco Sports. They sling some of the best pies in the Loco, and my kids say the mac and cheese is the best around. Hungry? Hit up Local Pie, longtime supporter of Loco Sports.
Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, the official floor cleaners of LowcoSports.com. If your feet tell you your floors need cleaning, call on Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. They provide residential and commercial services, including cleaning carpet and area rugs, tile and grout, upholstery, curtains and drapes, mattresses, and more. But most importantly, they'll get those floors so clean, your feet will thank them. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry.
Hilton Head Prep is a sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports, and we tell you all about the Dolphins' athletic exploits. But did you know it's also the #1 ranked private K-12 school in Beaufort County and ranks in the top 2.5% of schools nationwide? Visit hhprep.org to see what Hilton Head Prep has to offer. Beaufort Academy is a sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports, and we love covering the Eagles. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 7-1 and an average class size of 14 students, Beaufort Academy could be just the educational solution you're looking for, with more one-on-one attention. BA has a strong history of working with the whole child to prepare each student for college and life. Check them out at BeaufortAcademy.org. Thank you to all of our sustaining and supporting sponsors for their support of LowcoSports.com. Go Loco!
All right, back on the Loco Sports Lowdown, Justin, Jarrett, and Wes Kerr. Great talking with Coach Adam Kinloch out of Colleton County. I was so excited for him to get that opportunity, and as I said to him, clearly he is taking the bull by the horns. And gosh, we're talking about 130 kids out for spring football. That is unreal. Just really good stuff there, and really excited for him to have so much support as he takes over.
Yeah, this is a very exciting time for football, not just in the Lowcountry in general, but especially over in Colleton County. We've mentioned before, this is a sleeping giant, and if you find the right leaders to come in and take over this program, we could see some unprecedented success over here in the future. And I think this is exactly, I mean, he set that 5-year plan. 5 years from now, we're talking about if not a state champion, a team that has made us all proud and is ratting off those victories and making a serious run in the state championship. And I don't see why it couldn't happen. And I think he's laid down the instilled qualities that need to happen to find those players who will buy into your system and will continue to raise the bar over the years. And when you get over 100 kids, that just sends the message right there that these young men and women maybe as well, because we've seen some female football players in the area, and especially in the future, they're motivated. They are motivated to succeed. And just to see that being involved already in the spring game, not even before the season started, but just having that level of excitement about this program with Kinloch in charge now, it's going to be a fantastic fall. And man, mark your calendar for that week 0 game against Hampton County. I am already getting hyped to see what happens in that one. I'm sure you'll be there covering it to kick off the season. But what a matchup to begin both the Adam Kinloch and the Hampton County Hurricanes there here in the Lowco.
Yeah, no question. That's going to be a lot of fun, and there'll be plenty football coverage coming your way. We'll catch up with all the other new coaches in the Lowco here over the next few weeks as we go through the summer. But wanted to talk a little golf because we've got a special guest. I think she's with us. She's traveling, so maybe having some connection issues, not sure. But let's see if we can get Krista Dunton in here. And Krista, do we have you? We can come back to you, Krista, if you're having some trouble. Yeah, we're going to come back to Krista here in just a minute, but looks like she's having some connection issues as she travels. But we'll keep an eye out for her to pop back in. But Wes, I got the chance to go out to Berkeley Hall the other night for her event. It was the 10th time that they've done this. It's the Women Growing Girls Golf fundraiser. And Krista heads up the LPGA Girls Golf chapter in Bluffton in the Low Country, and they've just partnered with First Tee Low Country to expand that program and offer even more services to young girls who play golf. But they had their big fundraiser, 10th time they've done it, would be the 10th annual, but had to skip one in the COVID year out at Berkeley. And it was Krista and Stephanie George, who's the head pro there, and a few other local pros who helped out. And they had a nice clinic with over 50 women signed up to come out and got really good instruction. Like, I mean, I was just with the camera, but I felt like I was picking up some stuff like, man, if I would have gotten this kind of instruction, I might've been a better golfer when I used to play a little bit, but now I kind of want to get out there and try some of it. But an awesome thing they're doing. And obviously we have some tremendous girls golfers here in the Loco, and that all starts with those programs that introduce them to the game early.
Yeah, that's what all it takes, develop that spark early to these young girls. And I think we're in the perfect area of the country with golf being as big as it is to really grow and cultivate some outstanding girls golf talent. So programs like this, they make the difference, and great to see the fundraising efforts and the money going directly to that cause, because it's just going to inspire. It's a domino effect. We talked about football, it's the same thing over in golf. You mentioned inspiring those generations to come. It really only takes, that one big star to do that. And you never know who it would be. And just the effort these LGPA, these pros put in, those LPGA pros, developing that next level of talent in our area. It's yeoman's work that they do, and it's great to see as community members and lovers of golf here to see that next generation step in and develop that passion, love for the game that we did. So I think there's a lot more. You mentioned not just here in the Low Country for homegrown talent, but the Congaree Youth Global Golf Initiative, what they're doing with those high school age students to continue their passion. We need to continue to do that because we have so many resources here. We have so many courses around the Low Country in this golfing landscape that we need to be on the first edge of that development, and that those more clinics to show how much golf can be rewarding, not just in terms of getting scholarships to play in college, but also growing life lessons and it being a lifetime sport that you can play throughout the rest of your whole life. So many great things about taking up the sport of golf and just getting the fundraising money to make an influence on these young girls. That's everything.
All right, I think we may have Krista now. Can you hear us, Krista, backstage? Can't tell. I'm going to try to pull her in here. Do we have you, Krista? Nope, not yet. We'll continue to chat here while she tries to sort out her issues over there. It can be difficult. I've tried to do this while traveling before, and it can be tough with the bandwidth issues. But a couple other headlines to knock out while we wait for Krista. Buford's Aaron Lamb, big offensive lineman, signing with Allen University. So another member of that state championship team going to play at the next level, and not surprised to see him get that opportunity because he is a big, impressive young man and was really a driving force for that terrific run game.
Really unheralded part of that state championship team. Of course, you have the credit that's been, assigned to guys like Colton Ferris, Casey Fields, and that entire offensive skill position group. But what Aaron Lamb was able to do in the line, absolutely critical to the success that we saw with that ground attack. I mean, they couldn't do it without that sensational, strong blocking that we saw that entire season, and especially playoff run. He really was the rock of that offensive line and going to be a big loss as well for that Bryce Library coach team. But all in all, a congratulations on a big accomplishment, getting ready to play at the next level. Allen University, getting to play football at the next level, that's always a big honor, and I think he's going to make a great impact there, especially at a school where he's going to get an opportunity to step in right away on that line and perform. So I think the future is really bright with Aaron Lamb, and he's going to bring that same level of dedication and success towards Allen at the college ranks. So been fun to watch Aaron and his brother Adrian still with one more year for the Eagles.
Yeah, and he's going to be a dude too. He's going somewhere for sure. We'll wait and see where. But Krista trying to get the audio sorted out over there. But Battery Creek dedicated their gym to Joseph Stroman, longtime coach over there, and Bluffton unveiled a new field house, which I've been seeing them build as I drop my kid off at McCracken every morning. Wasn't sure exactly what it was for, but I guess it's going to be a wrestling room, cheer room, and a field house for those teams. So nice addition to their facilities over there, and certainly they already have a nice collection of facilities at Bluffton. Yeah,
I think the Bobcats with the combination of the coaching hires and just the improvement of facilities, I think the athletic program has really grown by leaps and bounds over these last few years. The wrestling program, especially with success in Devon Rogers, who has been a beast over on the map. Of course, herself, she's going to wrestle at the next level. So tough to lose such a phenomenal young woman on the map, but she has really done a great job to set the table for this next group of wrestling standouts, and what a cool opportunity to play and wrestle in this new room, and also use it for cheerleading. So it just raises the bar, entices more of these young student athletes to take part in these sports. And we've sung all the praises of what wrestling can do for you as an athlete, and it's just continuing to rise, not just in the boys' ranks, but the girls as well. And I think with Siobhan's success, expect to see a lot more girls take up the sport, and those new facilities are everything. So I'm excited to check it out myself. I know they've been hard at work over there for a while, but great to see that be completed and introduced here at the end of the school year, and sets the table for what should be another big year for the Bobcats in 2023-24. And then congratulations to the Battery Creek and Joseph Stroman, who they just dedicated their new gym after, and Stroman, an absolute legend over there at Creek. I believe he wore a couple different hats over there. Coached a football team, with a track coach, coached girls basketball for a long number of years. Absolute legendary work and yeoman's work that he did over there at Creek. So definitely so deserved to get that kind of recognition. When you get your gym named after you, you did something special. Rare to see it. You I mean, we saw it with Jerry Faulkner, who actually was back in Charlotte. The gym over there was named after him. So, of course, Faulkner, a legend, coming down to coach Hilton at Prep for a number of years. Actually, Chris Kishkami before he moved to Hilton at Prep. But you don't see it very often. And when you see it, we're talking about, young men turned to be veterans of the coaching ranks who have made a special difference on the lives of our low country students, and certainly fitting the bill there when you look at the career and the excellence for Joseph Stroman. So a great honor for him, and great to see Battery Creek find a way to keep his legacy intact in that big of a way, and it will forever be immortalized, the work that he has done now over at Battery Creek High School.
Indeed. And Krista, do we have you? Do we have you, Krista? Let's see. Krista, do we have you? Can you hear us? I guess not.
How could you get it before?
I guess she couldn't hear us after all. So for whatever reason, we can't get the audio synced up with Krista, unfortunately. But one more headline, Wes, and that was Olivia Gaines, who we got to know briefly as the head coach, women's basketball coach at USC Salkehatchie. Then she moved on to Richard Bland College, where she was national runner-up last year, and now accepting an assistant coaching position at Georgia Southern. So young star, rising star in the coaching ranks. You start to think about, who's the next Dawn Staley, and I don't know that we go quite that far yet, but she played at Carolina, and Gaines definitely seems to be, she's got the touch, because Salkehatchie was very good when she was there, got a chance to move on and take over a program where she had a chance to get within an eyelash of a national championship, and now headed to the D1 ranks at Georgia Southern. I think we're going to see her continue to climb.
Yeah, she is a rising star for sure in the coaching ranks. And as she did over there at USC Sauk, a program where, sometimes it's difficult to find that winning edge, but, her coaching style and just her IQ and knowledge of the game and just her persistence to get better and, elevate the play of those young women. It was special and great to see, that homegrown, Lowco bred kind of talent over here at these smaller schools. You look at USC Salkehatchie, and a program that has had a couple ups and downs throughout the years, but that's a big success story to develop a coach like that, and Olivia Gaines, who certainly proved her worth at that level, and now earning her opportunity to become an assistant coach at Georgia Southern, which is, continuing to grow as a strong D1 program. It wasn't always D1 for a long time, but as continue to climb up those ranks, and just a couple miles around here over across the border, but I think she is going to be someone who will look towards these next few years, someone who continue to rise up the ranks. So she's on an excellent path right now, and it's great to see that she started right here in the Low Country over there at USC Sauk, and once again, it proves that you can make it from those kinds of schools and learn how to do it, and then keep elevating and moving on to bigger and better things. So great to see that, and I think maybe we'll see that kind of mentality as well when USCB begins their basketball programs. Of course, we got legend Sharon Versip over there to start off the women's program, but I expect her to eventually pass off the baton to someone who she hopes and she thinks will be that kind of star in the future to prove herself at a place like this and develop those quality skills to continue to move up the ladder. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger to start a program with for SIP, and just a great honor for them. And same thing, for Ron Fudala, a big opportunity for him. To move over here and set the foundation. So great to see a couple college basketball, programs here now in the Low Country, and it's just great notoriety year for these programs, and especially when we see someone, find so much success out of it and continue to ascend the ranks, just like what we think that Olivia Gaines do in the future. So wish her all the best as she gets ready to move on and become an Eagle. Well,
I have great news. We have Krista Dunton. So after Much consternation. I think we got it. Krista, do we have you?
I think I had to get a Wi-Fi hotspot. So sorry.
Yeah.
Remotely here.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get when you try to do it on the road. I've dealt with some hotel Wi-Fi situations too that they get a little dicey at times. But thanks so much, and I know you're traveling, so we appreciate you jumping in with us. But I had a great time out of Berkeley Hall the other night for your fundraiser, and I've had the assignment to write for you for the Anthem magazines, write about the program for the Anthem magazine. So we thought it'd be great to get you on here and talk a little bit about what you're doing with the LPGA Girls Golf Program in Bluffton. I know that you guys just had some big news partnering with First Tee Low Country. So I'm guessing that's going to be an expansion of what you're able to do and how many girls you're able to serve here in the Low Country. But tell us a little bit about the program and about the fundraiser that you had the other night.
You're bouncing in and out a little bit. Justin, repeat the question. You were kind of breaking in and out there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just saying, just tell us a little bit about the program that the LPGA program and the fundraiser that you had the other night at Berkeley Hall.
Sure. So the LPGA Girls Golf Club, the program started actually by a good friend of mine, Sandy LeBeau, probably about
you're breaking up on us, Chris. I think we're gonna have to see if we can do this another time, maybe.
All right.
We're losing
I'll
you
get a
there.
secure connection next week. Yeah.
All right,
doing
perfect.
great.
Well, we'll catch up with you next week. Very good. We'll catch
Okay,
up with you
thanks,
next week,
Justin. Sorry
Krista.
about
Enjoy
that.
your travels, and thanks so much for trying it with us. We appreciate you. We'll want to have more time for Krista next week anyway. She's got a lot of great things to say, and certainly has had a terrific journey in golf. Nationally renowned instructor, been recognized by everybody under the sun, top 100 type instructor. A great resource that we have, one of the many great resources we have here in the Low Country, and certainly for golfers. There are so many, and she's a great one, especially for young
What a
ladies.
treat. And, you can look down a list of the incredible number of former, pros and who have continued to become exceptional teachers of golf. You look down the line, and it just seems that we have a fantastic list of them, and it just continues to grow year in, year out. And Krista certainly is an excellent example of someone who has continued to, show the passion of her game and show that love to others, kids and adults alike, and to have that kind of camp fundraiser clinic in a way that she can relay that passion and help, so many women who share that same love for golf to and continue to improve their game, giving back to the community. That is what it's all about. And we just love to see that continued support towards the Low Country, and of course the biggest thing, as I mentioned earlier, the next generation, to inspire that kind of same drive. And so it's really cool to see because golf is a special, it's a gem here in the Low Country. It's woven in our community, and to have those kinds of people do those yeoman's work and giving back and continuing to grow and strengthen the game and set it up for future generations to have that kind of success and fun. And there's just so many, like I said, just so many benefits of playing that stays with you throughout your entire life. And Krista, doing a great example of cultivating and continuing to help strengthen the love and passion of the game of golf here in the community. So certainly wish we could talk to her a little more, but definitely we'll have her back on next week because I want to hear more about that fundraiser and about her storied career with the game of golf.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would have been doing our listeners a disservice if we tried to do a choppy interview with her over interstate Wi-Fi. It was not going to work out very well. You weren't going to get the eloquence and the expertise that she can bring us, and you wouldn't get really the true story of what she's doing here in the community either. So we'll do that next week. But one more thing before we leave, Wes, and that is to remember a friend of mine, but more importantly, someone who touched so many lives in a positive way, and that's Brett Borton. He preceded me by a number of years as Island Packet sports editor. I first got to know his name as a byline in the old papers when I was going through doing the time capsules and trying to find, old historical references, and connected the dots that my boss, the publisher, Sarah Borton, was his wife. And eventually I met Brett and got to know him, and he was just a fantastic guy. And then I worked with him. I had the pleasure to work with him at USCB, where he was a professor in communication studies and one of the most popular and most well-loved professors. And unfortunately, Brett passed away this past week, far too early. He was in Scotland, as I understand it. And, I heard about it from our old friend Carlo Peruzzo first. He was one of his students at USCB that he made a huge impact on. And then I broke my Facebook hiatus and went to see that was true, and to see the outpouring of well wishes and love from all of his former students and friends and colleagues and family members. So just wanted to say, what a tremendous mark he left, and what a bright light he was. I mean, every time I talked to him, we were smiling and laughing the whole time, and having a good time, and talking about lighthearted stuff and deep stuff at the same time, intermingling it. And he was just that kind of guy, easy to talk to, easy to get along with, and really loved his students at USCB and poured himself into them. And, the world's just not quite as good as it was when he was here. So
we need more of those bright lights. It's just devastated to lose someone that meant so much to us, but also, University of South Carolina, Beaufort, and someone who has worked so hard over the years to be such an amazing individual, and someone who has influenced the lives of so many students over at of South Carolina, Beaufort, being a professor for a number of years, and then, as you mentioned, an exceptional writer as well. Someone who just did a great job of relaying his love for the area, and just being that guy you could always turn to when something's, when the chips are down, someone you can always talk to, and just someone to have a good conversation with. And I'm sure it's someone you've learned a lot throughout the years, and I'm sure many of the students can say the same. So, one of those bright lights around here at the Lowco, and we definitely need a lot more like Professor Brett. So we wish his family and his friends condolences, and we remember someone who made such an incredible difference to so many lives of all ages here in the Low Country and beyond.
Yeah, the one positive thing is always when you do see that outpouring, and you see all those people coming forward and saying, how much somebody meant to them. And, a lot of them, I was aware that they had a great relationship with them, but a great many people I knew, were pouring themselves out, and I didn't even know they knew him. And that's always a beautiful thing to see, how far those tentacles reach, and how many people you really make an impact on in life. Certainly when you live it to the fullest, that's definitely the case. And Brett certainly did that. He wanted to make his mark and leave something behind, and he's definitely done that. He'll never be forgotten, for sure. And I definitely feel a through line, with all the people who have covered sports in this community over the years and documented the history of high school sports here. I used to be able to talk with Brett about old times before I got here, and he could fill in some cracks about the Dan Utley days and things like that. And, just some of that institutional knowledge, so to speak, is gone from our community now too. And, we wish him,
just as our friend Herbert Glaze says, we lose another library. It's another library lost.
Closes. Yeah. And, Brett also worked with the Low Country Golf Course Owners Association for a while. I mean, he really did to touch a lot of different parts of this community, and and made an impact in a lot of places. So, I hope we've done him a fitting tribute here for a little podcast. But Wes, I thought this was a great show in spite of our technical issues, and certainly now we have something to look forward to with Krista Dunton signed up to join us next week, because definitely we need as many guests as we can get for the
interview with Adam Kinloch, though. He was
Oh man, I told Krista it's okay. We didn't have a lot of time left because Kinloch he unleashed a heck of an interview on us. That guy is fired up, and I'm really fired up for him too, to see what he can do out of Colleton County, because I love the folks out there. Every time I go out there, it's just very incredible hospitality, and they're so happy to see us, and I hope that we can go cover some wins out there this season for Kinloch and the boys. But thanks so much to Adam Kinloch. Thanks to Krista Dunton for giving it a shot today, and we look forward to having her back on next week. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks most of all to you for showing up to listen or watch. That's going to do it for this episode of the Loco Sports Lowdown. For Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing.